Techno update. Subscribe now.
Vodafone Smart N8 Review. Design. The Vodafone Smart N8 has the kind of plain, unremarkable looks you might expect of a budget phone. Its clean front makes it impossible to distinguish from any number of other low to mid-range Android handsets, with only a recessed speaker and earpiece providing any discernible detail. This rear cover is well affixed to the body of the phone, too. It's quite a job to prise the multiple connection points away from the chassis. You'll need strong fingernails if you want to access the SIM or microSD slots. It isn't possible to remove the battery. Display. The Vodafone Smart N8's 5-inch IPS display feels positively petite next to most modern Android phones, although it would seem pretty normal to an iPhone user. Similarly, iPhone-like is the Smart N8's display's 720p resolution, which feels reasonably sharp on a phone of this size. I was pleasantly surprised by how bright and clear it was too, since this is often one of the main areas of compromise in an entry-level phone. Performance. Talking of signs that you're dealing with a cheap phone, the Vodafone Smart N8 runs on some very humble silicon. While the eagle-eyed and tech-savvy will be able to tell as much within a few minutes of using the phone, most casual and first-time users will have a perfectly decent experience. We're looking at a MediaTek MT6737 CPU here, which is a quad-core processor clocked at 1.25 GHz. It's a decidedly low-end chip that's evidently being used as a cost-saving measure on Vodafone's part. Software. The good news this time is that you get Android 7.0, which is the latest iteration of Google's mobile OS. Give or take a few sub-versions. Where Vodafone has tinkered with the nuts and bolts of the Android OS, it's been quite smartly thought out. For example, the network's software team has supplied 4 customizable shortcuts from the lock screen. Camera. You never expect great things from a budget phone's camera, and the Vodafone Smart N8 doesn't really upset those expectations. On paper it offers a respectable 13-megapixel sensor, a step up from last year's model, with a flash and autofocus. For most people using the Vodafone Smart N8, pin-sharp photos won't be a priority. It's just fine for off-the-cuff social media posts, and there's a similarly okay 5-megapixel front-facing camera for selfies. Battery life. Surprisingly, given that it's a thicker phone, the Vodafone Smart N8 has a smaller battery than last year's Vodafone Smart Prime 7. It's a 2400 mAh unit compared to the Prime's 2540 mAh.